Alright, welcome back to a long-awaited video. So this channel is not dead at all. I'm just doing, it's not the pandemic anymore, and I'm not unemployed anymore, thankfully. So this channel is not dead, not at all, not even in the least bit. So not only that, I see what the data shows. So if I go to click here on analytics, I mean, first of all, thank you to the. I
All
had
right,
actually
welcome
had a
to another
commenter on
video.
this video today. And if we look at when this video was posted 2 years
All right,
ago.
welcome to.
And then if we go and look at the analytics, we can see that the most popular ones that I did, if I go to manage my videos, or if I just go here to videos and then I sort it by popular, this series just blows up. We can see one, two, the intro's up there, three, people. This is by popular demand. This is the series people want. So I'm gonna give the people what they want, and it's what I want too. This is very relevant to what I do today as well. So I'm gonna give the people what they want, and I'm gonna resurrect this channel from the dead, and not only that, resurrect this playlist from the complete dead. It's been 2 years since I've added to this playlist because I got frustrated with the book and gave up on reading it. But having some resiliency to go through, I think matters. It's important to be able to keep at something. So I'm going to dive right in and continue reading this where I left off. So I need to open up my Amazon Cloud Reader. There we go. And I have a bunch of new books. It's been 2 years. So I've got this Head First Design Patterns, which I think would be a great one to read. I've got all of the Python books that people recommend you have. This is the big one here, Machine Learning for Network Engineers and Cloud Engineers. That I'm definitely going to go on at some point. I think I've read this one and gave up on reading it as well. But anyway, here's the big book that everyone's tuned in to see. So it looks like the Kindle app is required. That's new. It's been 2 years since I did this, so that's new. I'm hoping I can get the Kindle app somehow. I don't see how I can do that, but that's not ideal because it used to be that I didn't need the Kindle app. I could just do it in the browser. Well, shoot. Well, this is really bad. If they... Well, this is Google Play. And of course, all my bookmarks are now gone. So here's Soft Tonics. So I guess I'm going to get a big fat virus here. I wish there was a more official location for this because I definitely do not want a virus. Okay, so this is from Amazon.com. So here we go. So I think this is a better location. I'm not going to deal with this. I don't want a virus on my computer. So I'm going to go to download Kindle apps on the official Amazon help page. And I'm going to download it for PC and save it. And wait for a long time. My internet was having issues this morning too, so it's going to be a while. You know what? I will pause it and I will come back. All right, I'm back. So I've got it downloaded now. Hopefully. So let's open the installer and get that running. And then as that's going, I'll pause it again. All right, so it's unpacking. I won't show all this, so I'm going to pause it and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So I'm doing this in between breakfast, so I'll be pausing some more. I would like to accept the terms. Well, I mean, the terms of use are probably my firstborn child and all my money, but um, let's click yes. So, welcome to the new Kindle for Windows. So I have to sign in with Amazon. I'll do that off camera. I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. So, yeah, it looks pretty much the same. I'm not sure why they changed it up like that. It's a bad change. I remember the good old days when you search on Google and you got Google results instead of advertisements. But now we can continue with the book, unless it tells me to download something else. Okay, so now I have to download the book and read the book in a different. Well, that's too bad. Okay, so now it's downloaded. So what happens if I click it now? If I click open book. Okay, so I can read it in this one. Now I used to have my notes and highlights, but it looks like they tore down the application I was using. So, oh, you know what? This is great. They kept all my notes here. It looks like. So let me look for the notes that I had. Oh, so that's the bookmark it, but I don't need that bookmark. Ah, here we go. So I think this is where I left off. This is location. This is I was about 71% complete. This is location. Yeah. So let's see what chapter this is in. Oh man. Well, maybe I was closer to finishing the chapter. Yeah. So okay. So it looks like I left off right at the next section. So the next example will be more full featured. We will demonstrate how to use the AWS CDK to provision several Lambda functions behind an API gateway for create, read, update, delete, CRUD, REST access to 2D items stored in a DynamoDB table. Okay, this is kind of more aligned with what I'm doing. It's like I feel like okay, perfect. We also show how to load test our REST API with containers deployed in AWS Fargate. Wow, okay, this is really aligning with the stuff I've been learning lately. And running the Locust load testing tool against the API. The Fargate containers will also be provisioned with AWS CDK. Whoa, that's okay. This is, hey, you guys voted with your views, and wow, you guys know what you're talking about here. This aligns perfectly with the stuff I've been looking at lately. All right, so provisioning DynamoDB table, Lambda functions, and API gateway methods using the AWS CDK. We briefly mentioned the AWS CDK in Chapter 10. AWS CDK is a product that allows you to define the desired state. And I'll check my audio here. Looks good. Of the infrastructure using real code. Currently supported languages are TypeScript and Python, as opposed to using a YAML definition file, which, yes, as the serverless platform does. Install CDK CLI with NPM. So NPM is a package manager for at the global level. Depending on your operating system, you may need to run the following command with sudo. All right, so you know what? Let's go through and do all of this. So I do have Wassel for Linux installed. So I just got to open it. There we go. And now let's take a look at a place where this can go. So if I do a cd, I should have, yeah. So I have this. So let's just do npm. I don't think I have npm. No, I don't. But I can install it. You can install any package manager on any system. It's just the things that are there by default depend on your operating system. All right, I might take a, yeah, it's at 50%. I'll take a break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see how this install is going. Going good. It's completely done. So I don't need this open. I just need this. And I can pin this now. I'm going to do that. All right, so now I've got the npm package, or the npm application. So we got a few problems here. Yeah, npm is not. But you know what I can do, which is pretty cool, is I can make another WASL for the OS that they're talking about with npm. And I've got the benefit of ChatGPT these days as well. So which Linux distro uses npm? Oh, see, now this is the real benefit of ChatGPT. Oh, you know what? It's missing right access, so it might just be a sudo thing. All right, so here's the big benefit of ChatGPT. We can see my operating system or architecture is not compatible. So hopefully it'll give me the operating system that I can use, and I can simulate it. Yep, I did sudo. Oh, it looks like it's for Mac, but it's an optional dependency. Yeah, so here's some things I can do, it looks like. This is to upgrade Node. But anyway, I think it might have been I think it might have yeah, so it's skipping a failed optional dependency, and then we've got a warning here that this dependency here isn't yeah, so I think it went fine actually. And ChatGPT gave us a check command for that, so it's cdk -- version. So as long as that outputs creates output, I think it's probably fine. So it's saying that there's an unexpected token, but it does produce output here, even though it's mostly errors. But anyway, let's move on to the next part. All right, so this is creating a directory for the SDK application, and then creating a sample Python application with SDK init. All right, so SDK init. Okay, so yep, there's an error here, syntax error, so I don't have the necessary things installed. And I think this is where I was at in the last one. I just wasn't getting things to work the way they needed to. Yeah, so this is a one for Macs, and I'm not running a Mac, so there's some problems with that, of course. All right, so let's feed this to ChatGPT. And this is cool because this video you can see the direct comparison between trying to read this book and doing the tutorials with ChatGPT, which is this video 1 starting today, and without, which is all my previous videos. Okay, so I need to upgrade Node.js, so let's do that. Now I don't have NVM here, so maybe I can do maybe I can do an npm install. You know what? Maybe it's just a mistake. Maybe it's a what if I try npm install 14.15? Because ChatGPT can get things wrong. Nope, that's not it. So, yeah, so it's definitely going to be NVM. Interesting. So I don't have NVM. And it should have installed here. So for some reason this didn't go through. Let's do this and then feed this into. Oh, so it looks like we've got to close and reopen the terminal, or we can run this command to use it now. I'll just run this command to use it now. Reading the output usually helps, sometimes not, but mostly the time it does. All right, so there we go. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so now that I read the output, which is kind of a novel strategy, it is working. Okay, so there we go. I'm using JS Node, most recent version of that. So now I'm going to reinstall the AWS CDK. And I'll feed this into ChatGPT because it looks like it's not perfect. Okay, no, it does look good. So I wonder if there's output about. No, output looks good. Yeah, okay, it looks good. So now I can rerun that command to initialize the CDK. Right here, CDK init app language Python. Okay, it wants a virtual environment, which I know how to do. That's totally fine. And this is the kind of thing where like ChatGPT is so wonderful. Or well, never mind. This is just from reading the. Well, you know what? No, it is the sort of thing where ChatGPT is so wonderful because it's like, why does it want that? Like, you get. You're not left in the dust where it's like, do this, what, why, just put it in the ChatGPT and you'll know. But this I already know. I've done this a million times on the channel, and this is just a standard part of using Python nowadays. A little bit complicated, but the trade-off is definitely worth it. All right, so source.venv, bin activate. All right, and now I can do the initialize command again. There we go. Oops. Node 14 is bad. So so what's the current supported node? Node current version. So yeah, I'm running 14. It looks like the newest version is 21.7.1. So I'm going to go back over those instructions from before and use a better version. Okay, so I'm going to remove node. And I'll just to make sure, I'll deactivate. I don't think it makes a difference because it has to do with pip. But just in case, so there's the following packages were automatically installed sudo apt remove Node.js. Did I misspell it? Well, I copied it over, so. All right, well, that looks fine. So here's the new merge. Okay, so it looks like this is all I have to do is just do another version. So okay, so version 14.15.0 of Node was very out of date. The most current version is 21.7.1. So how do I uninstall that old version that you showed me in the instructions and make sure that it's using the current version?
To upgrade to the latest version of Node.js, which, as you mentioned, is 21.7.1, and ensure that your system is using it, you can follow these steps using NDM, Node Version Manager. This guide assumes you already have NDM installed, as per previous instructions. If you haven't installed NDM yet, please refer back to the earlier steps for setting it up. Uninstalling the old Node.js version. If you wish to uninstall the older Node.js version, 14.15.0, you installed the NDM, you can do so with the following command. This command removes the specified version of Node.js from your system. Installing the latest Node.js version to install the most current version of To switch from your currently active Node.js version and upgrade to the most current version, 21.7.1 in your case, you'll need to first install the new version using NDM and then change the active version to the newly installed one. Afterward, you can uninstall the old version. Here's how to do it step by step. Install the new version of Node.js. Use NDM to install the latest version.
All right, so there was an order of operations. If you uninstall the only one you have, it won't let you do that. So you can make another one, switch to it, and then uninstall the one you're no longer using. Isn't that amazing? It's just yeah, everything is so good. So now we've got a problem here. Looks like the version of the GLIBC might be out of date as well. Yeah, so I need to upgrade my version of GNU C library. And like, imagine me doing this, without ChatGPT. Which, I mean, you don't have to imagine it. You can go and look at my old videos and watch me. It was so difficult, I grew a mustache. So ChatGPT, thank you. And my camera's broken, is why I don't have my camera up right now. I'm working on trying to fix that. Okay, I am using Wassel 2. So upgrade your distribution. Not sure what's going on there. But I think we can follow the book now again. So, yep, so we'll upgrade everything there. And I am very rapidly running out of time here. Time is a very limited resource, and unless it's not, then it's very being bored is not fun. Okay, so we've got a lot going on here. Looks like I'm upgrading my whole operating system, which is what. Yeah, so sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. So just I guess I'm pretty far behind the curve there. All right, everything looks good now. So next command is npm install cdk-g. And we're just getting the same error here. I'll try it with the sudo. Sudo does not happen. So now if I do the cdk init app, well, let's do a CL. Let's see what we got. So I was able to init it. See, that's the hard part, is like when you're following examples like this, like there's so much you need to do. Like if you're not using the right OS, like none of the examples are going to work. So let's do a ls-a-la. So we've got a lot of the same files. We've got the README file, apps, CDK. So you know what? We're doing not so bad. So we're going to cat out the app.py file. There we go. And so they got it to cat out with colorization somehow. That would be nice to have set up. But you can see some things are different from AWS CDK. I've got import the whole thing as core. So I've got I think a newer version than they do. A CDK program is composed of an app that can contain one or more stacks. A stack corresponds to a CloudFormation stack object. Inspect the module defining the CDK stack. So if we do cat on this module, this is the module that defines the stack. And again, as it says, a stack corresponds to a CloudFormation object. So we should see information about a CloudFormation object if we inspect the stack. And it looks like the copy and paste from here is one of the things I really objected to before was how difficult it was to copy and paste. I feel like it's still going to be difficult to copy and paste. So we do have that, but we have the author information as well. Unfortunately. Well, maybe I can open a notepad and I can enter in. Yeah, so I can get rid of the. I mean, that's a fair way to do it. Is if you copy and paste from it, it has the author information. That's a fair way to do it, I think. But we can see here, if we go back and if we go forward to where we were. So we inspected that. See, now it's somehow it changed the present directory. It looked like, and expected people to catch on to that. That's not going to happen. So there we go, back in this present directory. So CDK, CDK Fargate. There we go. Fargate stack.py. There we go. So yeah, so we've got the class. Everything looks similar. So moving on to the next part. Let's see if we got that init showing up somewhere. So it is right here. Because we are going to have two stacks, one for the Lambda DB / Lambda / API gateway resources, and one for the Fargate resources. We're going to rename this. So rename in Linux is a MV command, which is very intuitive. So before I do that, I want to make sure that I've looked over that properly. So I'm going to do a vim there, and now I get the colorization, and now you can see how much clearer this is to read. So I'll be using vim from now on for this, but the next step is just to rename the file. So let's do that. So MV CDK, there we go, and we're going to rename it to and it's going to be in the same folder here, but it's going to be renamed to CDK Lambda DYN, and then we're going to take out Fargate. All right, so now if I do a ls, there we go. Now it doesn't have Fargate in it anymore. And the class, now we got to actually go into the file, and we're going to rename the class. We're going to take Fargate out of the class as well. And not only that, we actually are going to rename the folder it's in as well. Oh, you know what? No, we're not. We're going to keep the folder named the same way it is. And then we are going to go into CD. Yeah, Lambda. There we go. And we're going to do vim. And now we can notice that no longer has Fargate in it. We're going to get rid of Fargate here. So I can hit A to go into insert mode, and this gives me to the front there, and there we go. Now we do have a comment that still has Fargate in it, but I think I'll leave it the way it is. It's just a comment. In production, it probably makes sense to change that so it's not so confusing. But in production too, it'll be in a Git repo, and you'll be able to see Git history of changes, so that'll help with that. And then we're also going to change app.py to refer to the changed module and class names. Okay, so app.py is right there. So vim app.py, and then we're going to change the so it says from Fargate. Yeah, so from Fargate dot so we remove the Fargate here. So I can hit A to go in insert mode. There we go. I've removed it. And then we're also going to remove it from the import. Now this is the name of the does this look familiar here? Well, hopefully it does, because it's the file name, I believe. So I'm not sure if I changed the file. Oh, you know what? I did. I remember doing that. So yeah, this should be everything. We changed the file name, we changed the class name, and then we changed the information inside app.py to reflect those changes and pull in the correct file name and class name. So let's check this line here, make sure that's looking good. So it's CDK. Oh, nope. So we missed a change here. So it looks like for this second one as well, we need that. So lambda, oops, app. Okay, so they have a different variable name. That's kind of interesting. So I guess I should change the whole thing. I don't know what the deal is with that. I guess I'll just change the whole thing. I know for sure this one probably needs to be changed. All right, and then this one, the whole thing, I think makes sense to change. Hopefully. All right, so here's the moment of truth. So we're going to activate the virtual environment, which they have it named differently than me, but that's okay. All right, and then we're going to take the URL shortener CDK example and modify it with code from the serverless platform AWS Python REST API example to build a REST API for creating, listing, getting, updating, and deleting to-do items. Amazon DynamoDB is used to store the data. Inspect the serverless.yaml file from examples / AWS Python REST API with DynamoDB and deploy it with the serverless command to see what AWS resources get created. So I don't think I can do this. I'm going to advance my bookmark here, and I do need to stop this very, very soon. So let's just see what I got. So if I do a pwd, we can see I don't have the code examples. So I don't have the same stuff that I had 2 years ago, of course. If I do the serverless deploy, SER VERLESS DEPLOY, command is not found. So I don't have the prerequisites set up for this anymore. It looks like it required doing the prior examples, so you can see the output that I would get. Now, some of this looks familiar to me now because I've actually studied for the Amazon Foundation Cloud Practitioner. So we can see the region here. That looks very familiar to me. We can see API call output there. It looks like, or endpoints, defining endpoints for APIs there. So yeah, that looks good. So I guess, am I at a good stopping point? I am not. So it looks like this requires more than I got. It requires going back and completing those prior examples, which I think I might do. So I'm just going to advance my bookmark up here, delete this old one, and I'll take a note if I can. So let me see how to take a note here. Okay, so I don't see how to take a note. It's not super intuitive how to do that. So let me, instead of taking a note, go back and highlight this here, because what we're going to do is take the prior examples and then add on to them. So if I don't have the prior examples, obviously I won't be able to continue on. So I'm going to add a note and say complete these prior examples before moving on. All right, so that's it for this video. By popular demand, I've got all kinds of views on this series, and I just kind of left it lie because I was frustrated with not getting everything working. So I'm back, giving the people what they want. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.